Okay, doing this a little different this time. I'm going to try using the webcam rather than my phone. So, here goes nothing. Typically when it comes to hobbies, there are some that do require more skill than others. Not everybody can pick up a chainsaw and start carving a bear into it without some sort of practice or skill going into it. I think that's why I have a tendency to have a few different hobbies that I've stuck to for most of my life. I'll dabble in one or two for a few months, and then I'll put it on the back burner, so to speak, and then pick it up at a later date or time. I love to be crafty and make things with my hands for others, because to me it's a good way to show people you really care, and I like to stick with hobbies that allow me to share my work with people around me, so by making things for them. I do like photography. Photography is something that I've loved to do ever since I was a kid. I do try to take as many pictures as I can, and my husband and I have a tendency to go on random road trips in the Pacific Northwest, which is a great place to practice photography, and it's something that pretty much anybody can do from the get-go. I mean, most people have a cell phone with a camera on it, and it's pretty easy to put your phone into camera mode and snap a picture. Not something that requires a lot of skill or a lot of practice, and as you tend to take more pictures, you do get a little better at it, and I mean, nobody's going to be an Annie Leibovitz from the get-go, so it's something you can work on. But it's not something that you have to master to be able to do it. Other hobbies, such as crocheting, which is something that I love to do, that actually requires some skill. You have to be able to master the basics of crocheting before you can actually do anything. If you can't do a single crochet stitch, you're not going to be able to just jump right in and make a scarf or a blanket for somebody. As a kid, my grandmother tried teaching me how, and at the time I wasn't interested, but what 8-year-old child wants to learn how to crochet? Once I got into my 20s, it was something that I thought I'd want to pick up a little bit more, and I'd dabble with some, so I got on YouTube and started watching videos. I figured it would be pretty easy to pick up, and I mean, over the years I'm not in any way, shape, or form a master at it, but I like to think that I'm fairly good at it by this point. And it's one of those things that learning more and picking up skills as you go along makes you a lot better at it. And you have to have some skills to actually be able to do it. You can't just jump right in and say, hey, here goes nothing, I'm gonna do this. And the way I see it, taking classes through a craft store, community center, even talking to people that actually partake in the skill is a good way to pick up the basics of it. Once you have the basics, then you can do things like go on YouTube, watch videos, learn more things. A few years back, I actually went on YouTube and watched videos on how to crochet little flowers, and I made cute headbands during football season for Seahawks fans that I knew, and everybody loved it, and it was something that they really appreciated because they knew I made it for them, and it was a cute way for girls to show their Seahawks pride. And another thing that I've started doing is perfecting my skill by making blankets. But these blankets aren't for people I know. They're actually for their pets. I work in a company and we're allowed to bring our dogs to work. Well, as most people that work in offices know, it gets pretty cold. So I'm perfecting my skill by making blankets for the dogs. This is actually one that I've been working on for a while. I'm pretty proud of myself. It's the 5th one I've done. So as I've gone along, I'm getting a little better at it, perfecting my skill, and it's getting a little easier. I'm pretty much to the point now with things where I can look at a pattern, and if I see the abbreviation SC, well, I know that's a single crochet. That's a type of stitch. If I see a CH, I know that's a chain stitch. These are things that as you practice and learn more about the craft, you start picking up on. They become a lot easier for you, and you can get to the point where just by glancing at a pattern, you know exactly what kind of stitch you're going to do, how many you need to do for each row, when you have to switch your stitches, and it just makes it a lot easier to get through things. It kind of almost becomes second nature, and I guess you could kind of say mindless in a way, because you get so used to it that you can just go and do it. Like, my favorite thing to do is in the evening while my husband and I are watching TV, I'll work on my blankets, because I know that I can pay attention to what's on TV. I don't really have to pay attention to my blanket, because I know what each stitch I'm doing is, and I know how many I have to do in each row. So it kind of makes it a little easier to get through things. So that's all for this presentation.